So we're going to switch the shift up real quick, go to the Western Conference, the Denver Nuggets, the Phoenix Suns. We saw that game last night, that third quarter run that the Suns had. Like Dr. Dre, it was explosive seeing what they were able to do and go up 1-0 against the Denver Nuggets. Or obviously you're very familiar with things that go on in the Valley of the Sun. Just looking at that Phoenix Suns team, we know Chris Paul is apparently at least looking like he's back to being, I don't want to say 100%, but he had his first playoff double-double. Just looking at that Phoenix Suns team, what stood out most to you in the first game?
When you unpack it and you take it back to the last series for the Nuggets, Smitty, you think about it, Jokic did a great job of putting the bigs, Nurkic, in foul trouble. He fouled out of 3 games, if I'm correct, with a lot of time remaining in the fourth. Ayton at the same time has been very effective in eliminating his effectiveness on the other end. They kind of equal each other out. And you go, why are they even better now, the Suns, than Portland? The Suns have a team that are better at shooting beyond the arc in the postseason. They're ready to play. The spacing is better. And they have 2 backcourt players who are playing the right way and spreading the court. And that is trouble for Denver because Denver needs a reinforcement in the backcourt as soon as possible to get healthy, whether it's Will Barton, whoever that is. Because anytime you have Chris Paul and you have Devin Booker, and if Chris Paul is playing the way he played in that fourth quarter, it is going to be a short series for the Nuggets. Because Devin at any time can run off 20 straight points. And he's going to find his rhythm and play with patience. And he didn't need to do it last night because Chris saw the opportunity for closing, and he took over the game, meaning he didn't run any plays. He directed and orchestrated everything on the court for him to be efficient and close this game immediately.
Smitty, going to the other side with the Denver Nuggets, we know that there's a top 3 MVP candidate in Nikola Jokic, and there's different strategies that they implement, a lot of different bodies they threw at him. What did you think of the Phoenix Suns' defensive strategy in countering what the Joker does?
Well, I think they have a lot of guys that have a high basketball IQ, and led by Coach Monty Williams and Coach Willie Green. Willie Green being from Detroit, an unbelievable basketball mind, and then you have the ultimate point guard in Chris Paul. I think they understood what when you play the percentages, yes, we're going to get double team, but we have to leave somebody open. They're leaving the right guys open for the Denver Nuggets. I'll go back to this. If I have Chris Paul and I'm going up against Chris Paul, I have to have some guys that want to make it uncomfortable for Chris Paul. At his age, at his size, that's the only thing you can do. He's going to outthink you. Who is that guy on the Denver Nuggets to make Chris Paul uncomfortable? Is it Campazzo? I love him. He's all over, but Chris Paul's going to say he's too small, right? Is it I get a switch on Michael Porter Jr.? I have an advantage because he's not sliding his feet. Jokic not sliding his feet enough. There's not enough defenders to me for the Denver Nuggets right here. Chris Paul is in his bag. He is dancing and doing whatever he wants. And that's the part I'm thinking about right now is you have to make Chris Paul uncomfortable. Maybe they have to go bigger. They're going to have to go somebody else to have Chris Paul uncomfortable, because if not, he's going to probe, he's going to use his eyes, he's going to get whatever he wants. They're going to get a high percentage shot.
Use that veteran Sevy. Now going back over to the Denver Nuggets, we've heard Coach Michael Malone question his team's toughness at times. Earl, your thoughts?
They're resilient. He did that against Portland after the first game. They understand what that means. It's everything Smitty is talking about. Are you going to get into that? It's this space in basketball where it's called a disrespectful space. My first game against John Stockton, I got in that space where you almost chest to chest. He walked me down to the free throw line and threw a pass right past my face. And I'm thinking someone cut back door. I turned around, no one was behind me. And he said, get back, but he put a word in between the get and the back, right? That's that uncomfortable space where Smitty talk about being uncomfortable against Chris Paul. You have to get in that space, pick him up full court, turn to him, and you say, maybe we won't win game 2. But maybe we take his legs and his energy for game 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 if needed. We have to wear him down because he's mentally tough, he's physically tough, but age eventually catches you. And when we go play in altitude and we pick it up full court, and we do it every possession, and we bump him, we put bigger guys, smaller guys, making him uncomfortable, he is the engine of that team. He is everything that makes everyone else go, and he is confidence for Devin Booker. And that puts pressure on Book to now not share the ball as much and try to score more points than him.